You're all here for an assignment.
Operations like this are the next era of warfare. Invisible tactics with global consequences. Evolve or fall behind.
To a new era of warfare.
I think he was protecting himself for sure. I mean, at that specific moment, we'll see the progression of his character from start to the end of the season is really questioning his purpose and where he belongs. Like, does he really belong back home and trying to get that balance with his family, and this is his new life, with his daughter, and trying to understand that relationship, with Mandy. What does that mean? Like, is that really true happiness for him, or is he like really struggling not being out there with his boys? Like, what is that like all about? And that's really the tone of has been the tone of the show, is that drive. We'll see how that kind of unfolds going out of 4 into 5 and 6, because 6 is a very powerful episode that I directed, and it deals with something that happens back home personally to him, that he feels like this happened because I was here, and he'll wear that guilt, and it'll be fun to see what happens to him from there. I think where he's struggling the most is, will Jason truly have himself when he's on a mission, right? Like, that, I think, is the more deeper understanding, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because Ray is his go-to, and and he's so concerned about getting him across the finish line, and that will really unfold as we get towards the end of the season, and you'll see even more questionable calls, as well as not only from me but from Ray as well. I mean, has he given up the fight already, and is he going to heal as he progresses through the season? So he's definitely going to be asking himself that question, and he's going to be struggling with that. Like, where's the guilt being back home and not with his brothers, or where's the guilt when he's with his brothers and he's not back home? So it's twofold, and with the new character coming on this season, I know he mirrors and sees that. And he's like, I know this guy. I know what he's all about. I've been down this road. I'm parallel. I know. I read right through him. So I think he's struggling with himself more so than I think he ever has. And when I say losing himself on the battlefield, we've never sugarcoated on the show, what could happen to a real operator. So that door is wide open. It could change at any moment, I think. I think he's striving to hit those numbers, feeling like, oh, I'm good, I can be back home, I don't need to be on the battlefield, right? But again, what is that thing that drives these operators, that itch? And he's got itching. Every mission on SEAL Team is always a mission that could be its last. Every mission that they go on could be their last forever, because that's the whole idea of the show, right? That's the way it was set up, that's the way it's programmed, that's the way we shoot it, that's the way we operate in it. A last ride is a last ride, and this just so happens to be a last ride because the series is coming to an end. That's why it's like the last ride, I guess. Listen, it's not really about teasing. It's really about seeing the character develop over these episodes, and how he starts off the episodes in season 7 and the first 4 or 5, at the beginning, and then the 3, 4, and 5, what he's haunted with. It's a real heavy hand in dealing with their first kill. What does that do to him? How does that start to haunt him? How does he deal with it? Does he go back and make amends with it somehow? And then ultimately, if he does go back and make amends with it, will it ultimately kill him? Yeah, I mean, for me, working as director on the episodes has always been a thrill, and it's just something that I really enjoyed. It's a very fast and efficient show. We shoot very real. The way this show was put down, Chris Chulak, and how he shot that pilot and how he put that formula down is really in your face, fast moving, handheld, very anamorphic, and it's beautiful. And just blessed to be able to shoot an episode that really deals heavily with Jason's son at the time and how he really puts the guilt on himself, meaning, you know, if I wasn't here, maybe he would still be alive. That's all I'm going to say. He's trying to accept it, and I think we'll see early on, he's like, oh, I can kind of accept it, and I could kind of see how that feels and operates, and Jason will ultimately take that on as a full acceptance, right? Or he's going to take it on and say it's just another dive into the unknown, and it's ultimately could kill this kid as well. So it was the best feeling ever to be able to exercise this character off my shoulders. It was very, it was like getting a big weight off my shoulders and celebrating the journey that was 8 years of my life and 7 seasons, and taking on these stories. And you know, I got bottles of champagne for my cast. I think I got 10 bottles, and I wanted to celebrate it. I knew, like, I was walking around in Colombia, I was like, I want to get champagne bottles for all the cast, and I want to celebrate it, and I want to spray it all over everybody like we just won the World Series or the Stanley Cup. Like, we made that arduous trek, and I wanted to taste that victory, and it was great. Amazing feeling. Well, a few things. My body, physically and mentally, had found a space that was in sync with the character, and knew that would no longer continue. And I just felt like it was something that I was very clear with, and it just made sense, and it just unraveled naturally. So it wasn't really a hard decision really to come up with. It just was a natural progression into a special operator, what he deals with, how he goes through certain things. We looked at Jason's character as far as being a little bit on the outside. We examined that. I think it was one season where he was kind of like sidelined, and he was operating from comm with you know, everyone else, and it just doesn't fit his character. It's not in me to put that uniform on and be on the sidelines. And I knew that early on when we did that. Specifically, I was like, this is not something I want to continue with a character like this, being on the sidelines. It's not his personality, it's not his drive. And I think the way this goes out is a testimony to how true we wanted to shoot this series, and actively thinking like this could be the one bullet that ends it forever for him. He was, and there's that, you know, it's the control of the tip of the spear, right? Where are you going to go with it? How are you going to maneuver it? Where are you going to put your boys in? You know, Jason, what I love about his, and always love about, and respects highly, he was a real instinctual guy, operated from his gut. He took chances, was very impulsive, but he's always found a way out, which I loved about that character. That is something that I hold near and dear with. I love the fact that it was so exciting playing him. But one thing that was hard to play was the depths of TBI, PTS, the nightmares. That was very difficult for me, and I'm just glad that I got through it, did it, and now I can just let it go. Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously. And it's something that he had to totally fully understand. And in the end of season 6, it's great to see his brothers step with him side by side. And again, my motto for the whole series is never leave a brother behind, right? And I think that plays true in the episodes in season 7, and even so towards the end, that whole motto, never leave a brother behind. But let's see where these brothers go. Well, you know, I don't want to give away the end, so he may not be able to do that. But, I mean, I think the idea of a film is always on the table, because you can shoot these stories at any time. Coming off of Black Hawk, it could have been 2 years prior could have been, you know, it doesn't really matter. You know, we went back and did a great episode about 9/11, which I thought was just a fantastic tribute to what that was all about and how it motivated these guys to get in to where they were in their profession as being operators and the sacrifice that they took on. But yes, there's always possibilities, I guess. For its dedication, its discipline, its consistency to efficiency, you know, the movement of the energy was always dialed in. The brotherhood. I feel it was a type of show that really was underrated in a lot of ways. We shot just amazing stunt sequences that I think that are parallel to major films out there, and which was why we shot Anamorphic. And I think it'll definitely be the type of show that people will tap into as an unforeseen kind of thing down the line. And I'm just happy to have been part of it and play a character that was just so multiply diverse in a lot of ways. And then without the character-driven stuff, and we didn't have that family stuff, it would have been, you know, DOD probably after season 1. You know what? I'm just here. You know, people, they've asked me that, and I say, you know, you wake up and you give out what your intentions are creatively, whether that's producing, directing, acting in television, movies, and theater. You know, I grow as an artist. I learn and inspired by other people that inspire me, and if I can inspire that through storytelling and many subject matters that I have already coming to fruition, so be it. So that's where I'm at. Oh, of course, yeah, sure, for sure. I mean, that's something I enjoy doing, but I will say it'll be something big. Yeah.